Hey, people. So let's talk about purpose. Now, I know that purpose is a subject that you've heard about thousands and thousands of times, right? People always talking about finding your purpose and achieving your purpose and maximizing your purpose and all of that about purpose. But here's an aspect of it that perhaps we don't pay attention as much to, and that is being provoked into purpose. Have you heard that one before? Being provoked into purpose. Now, what do I mean? I think that great problems are often the harbingers of great purposes, right? They act as a camouflage, right, into great purposes. You'd find out that a lot of people who have achieved massive success in life um, were usually prompted by the size of a problem, a gigantic problem, whether it was poverty or bad emotional spaces or rejection or being ignored by society or one of those things. It usually constituted a great, massive problem in their lives that prompted them to take action. And by doing so, they entered sometimes inadvertently into their purpose, into their calling, right? They discovered something that became an impetus for their lives. And I think that great problems uh, are like that, but the problem about problems, right, is that we often don't see it that way. When we have problems, when we encounter problems, our first reaction, our instinct is to run away as far as possible from the problem, right? Nobody really likes to be uh, kept under problems or under challenges. It it tends to affect us emotionally and mentally and even physically, right? We don't want to be overcome by anxiety. We don't want stress and all of those things. But the problem is not just the problem. It's like being in a crisis situation, right? Crisis has a front face, right? Has a front, but also has a back, which we often don't see. And that back is really the opener to sometimes what could be your best life ever. But if you don't face that challenge, you may not be able to realize that. The thing is that we don't want to face the challenge. We want to run away from the challenge. But the challenge or the problem is trying to get your attention to say, look, this is the opener to your best life, right? I heard something a bit ago that really struck me. It said that trouble or opportunities often come camouflaged in the guise of problems, right? We're looking for opportunities, but oftentimes they are camouflaged in the guise of problems. You meet a problem and you want to run away from it, not knowing that the problem is hiding your opportunity. But until you go through that problem, you won't get that opportunity, right? So I would encourage you to take a second look at the problems that you have in your life, right? The problems that are constantly recurring, whether it's an emotional problem or a financial problem or a physical problem. It's trying to tell you something. It's prompting you to take a second look, because hidden within that problem is more often than not the opportunity for you to enter into something that you couldn't have imagined. It's an invitation to enter into your purpose, right? And if you look at the concept of the gadfly, like gadfly is an insect in biology that usually bites livestock like horses and cows and all of that. But used metaphorically, a gadfly is a person or a circumstance that provokes you to take action. It's something that annoys you, that criticizes you, that wants to sting you into action, right? So that person that is constantly on your nerves, that situation that is constantly getting on your last nerve, right? That thing that wants to make you throttle the life out of the circumstance or out of the person or whatever, that is a pointer. It's trying to tell you something that, look, take action. There's something that you need to do here. And if you understand that and if you realize that, bang, something happens, right? So take a second look at the recurring problems, the recurring challenges in your life, especially those that seem to be insurmountable, those that seem to be too great for you to handle. Those are often the things that are leading you into your larger potential, your larger opportunity, your larger field for purpose, right? If you're going to enter into your best life, oftentimes you have to go through uh, a lot of challenges, huge challenges, but they are prompting you to evolve. They're prompting you to take action. They're prompting you to move up, to level up into what could be your best life ever. So don't run away from problems. Face them and be provoked into purpose.